Last year, you supported sending clowns to the Turkish border, as we've heard of earlier on today, to the refugee camps. But this year, we're not going to be sending clowns that far away. We have a bus waiting outside called the Playbus that travels to hostels, to parks, to council estates where children have nowhere to play. And I'd like to introduce you to the extraordinary team. Emma Bridge is going to come up here and tell us about the fabulous Playbus. Emma. And Tim. And Tim is coming too.
We're a double act. I never thought Vic Gosky would get a mention in this session, and his famed zone of proximal development, because that is what we're all about. Clicker, thank you. There we go. Thank you very much for having us here. We are really, truly honoured. We're here to tell you about Hackney Playbus. We are Emma and Tim. We're both trustees of the Playbus, and we've been trustees for about 5 years. But make no mistake about it, the hard work is done by those guys over there, the staff and the volunteers who make it happen. And if you haven't spoken to them yet, make a beeline for them after this session. So what is the Playbus? What does it do? Well, it's a bus, and it's all about play. Because on this bus, there is sand play, water play, role play, construction play, soft play, you name it, it's got it on board. It's got nappy changing, it's got toilets, and it's got tea and coffee making facilities. And like all good buses, it runs to a timetable. It rolls around Hackney from estates to parks, and it parks up outside hostels. And when it parks, it unloads all the play equipment, and whoever is passing can come by and join in. No booking required, no payment necessary. It's a universal offer for all children. And it's in Hackney. But don't think we're some fly-by-night operation. It's been around for 50 years. This is the original bus from 1972. There you go. Over to Emma. It's in Hackney.
So Hackney, as I'm sure many of you know, borders the City of London to the south. It has got one of the highest rates of households living in temporary accommodation. And we've seen a real increase in multi-occupancy, sofa surfing and homelessness. So what about our children? Well, 48% of children in Hackney are living in poverty and have few opportunities for safe play, which really affects their physical, social and emotional development. Now, the early years are really crucial to a child's chances in life, but for many parents, challenges with isolation and also poverty and homelessness really affect them being able to focus on parenting. So the majority of the families that we work with are extremely vulnerable, and the stats that you can see on the screen here relate to the families that were referred to us during 2022 and 2023, and highlight the issues that we see with mental health, with domestic abuse, which is the highest reported crime in Hackney, and also with homelessness. So how does the bus begin to support those families in need? Well, it doesn't wait for the bus to find it, it goes to where there's an identified need. It parks in the communal spaces of estates, rolls to the forecourts of hostels. Could you click on the next slide, please? Thank you very much. So therefore, it's looking specifically for those families in temporary accommodation. So because we go to the areas where we know there's a need, and well, who can resist this wonderful looking colourful bus? We are able to reach those parts of the community that are isolated and vulnerable that might ordinarily slip through the net. This includes our outreach programme, which is door knocking on families that have been referred to us to encourage them to join in.
Right, so once on board, the children do what children do, which is play. Small child here, first time he's picked up a paintbrush and made any mark. The children love it. And the parents, really that's where the hard work begins. Remember, we've knocked on doors and we've got people in temporary accommodation coming and accessing the services. And once they're there, we're there to support them. So take this mum, who we'll call Anna. This isn't Anna, and her name's not Anna. But Anna has had a very traumatic experience. She is living in temporary accommodation. She is very insecure and isolated, having had years of prolonged domestic violence. Her child isn't attending any formal nursery education, and she's in debt. But before we go on, you can only really help Anna when the ethos about helping her is in place. So the very, very strong ethos that they'll tell you all about is listen, observe, don't judge, be empathetic, and believe what's being said. Only when we have effective, meaningful relationships can what we do be impactful. So back to Anna. What did we do? Well, we supported Anna to make an online application for a school place because it's all online. She didn't have a computer. We took her to her appointments with Citizens Advice to sort out her debt issues. We managed to get some items to support the family from the Food and Baby Bank in Hackney, and we linked her with other partner organisations that go on in Hackney. And we, most importantly, perhaps, we put her in touch with a network of other mums with similar experiences, and they could create a self-supporting network.
We often find that parents and families are not aware of the services available to them. So the team partners with some organisations that you can see there on the screen to help with things such as clothing, appointments, speech and language therapy, Citizens Advice Bureau, food bank vouchers and health visitors. I mentioned before that we're able to reach parts of the community that wouldn't ordinarily be able to be accessed. And I think that the quote on the slide there really helps illustrate the point from this health visitor.
So we're running out of time. Is the Playbus effective? Yes. Emma, back to you.
Okay, thank you. So why do we need your help? Our finances have taken a real hit during the pandemic, and we've also had to fund purchasing and fitting out a new Playbus, which is ULEZ compliant. We rely heavily on the goodwill of our wonderful team of trustees, volunteers, and the team themselves, but much of the funding received is restricted. So Children in Need might give us some money for a hostels project, but we have to spend it on that. So being able to fund core costs for paying our team a fair wage, fuel for the bus, refreshments for the sessions is really, really tough for us. We're also seeing a huge increase in demand from marginalised groups such as Orthodox Jews, migrants, those experiencing domestic abuse and trauma and drug use that really do need our support. The Playbus is a real lifeline for many of these people, and we really want to be able to see it to be around to be a lifeline for many people in the years to come. We would really, thank you so much for listening to us. We'd really, really appreciate any funding that you're able to give to us tonight. Thank you so much.